I am about to do my hottest take ever. I'm going to rate the 6 Star Wars movies based on my opinion, which shouldn't be that hard, but Star Wars' own worst enemy is Star Wars fans, because for some reason in the Star Wars fandom, if you don't like something, then everyone else freaks out. Which, I mean, you're allowed to not like stuff. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I don't like the sequel trilogy. In my opinion, the sequel trilogy completely undoes the story of the first 6 movies. I don't really care for them. They're not my favorite, but if you like them, I love that you love them. I mean, that is great. If you can watch those movies and go through them, that's fine. I can tolerate episode 7. I can tolerate episode 9. Episode 8, I just cannot watch. Episode 8 completely just messes up Luke Skywalker and all that kind of jazz. But again, if you like the movies, that is all the power to you. If you like the prequels over them, that hell yeah. If you like the original trilogy, if you stop watching Star Wars after the original trilogy, that's just fine too. If you stop watching after Revenge of the Sith and you just create your own fanfic where Anakin never turns to the dark side, that's great on you. Anyway, so we're gonna get started with my first favorite. Well, with my number one. My number one is very obviously I think it's a choice of many, which is Revenge of the Sith. I'm a prequel kid. I was born in 1998. I grew up with the prequel trilogy. Like when I was in when I would go to stores as a kid, when I would go, like anything that was Star Wars in that time when I was growing up, it was all prequel trilogy. It was everything from Phantom Menace, Attack the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith. There was nothing else about it. Everything was Star Wars. It was Jedi. It was Clone Troopers. It was fucking Palpatine. You had Darth Vader in there because Darth Vader shows up at the end of Revenge of the Sith. I mean, everything was prequel trilogy. So I'm a big prequel person. I love the prequel trilogy. I also grew up with the Clone Wars. I'm not talking about any of the, the TV shows or any of stuff like the Clone Wars movie. I'm just talking about the 6 movies, from Phantom Menace to Return of the Jedi. That's what I'm talking about. So, Revenge of the Sith is my top favorite because it has the best fights, in my opinion. Anakin versus Obi-Wan is one of the best. I actually prefer Mace Windu versus Palpatine. Mace Windu is my favorite character growing up, and I loved that duel scene above the Mustafar duel scene. And I know that's like a issue, like everyone says if you don't like that. Like, there are a lot of people who say if you don't like Revenge of the Sith, then you're wrong. I mean, those are just toxic people. Don't focus on the toxic people. You like what you like. So I liked Mace Windu versus Palpatine. I used to look that clip up on YouTube all the time. Like all the time, I would look up that fight and just watch it. It was so cool. And they did state it's actually fact in canon that Mace Windu did actually win the fight, and had Anakin not intervened, Mace Windu would have killed Palpatine, and boom. So yes, I love it. And yes, I grew up as a Mace Windu fanboy. I had my first Lego minifigure. If you don't know, I collect Lego Star Wars sets. My first Lego minifigure was Mace Windu. It was the best thing ever. I lost him, but actually last year I bought him back. It's amazing. Anyway, so my second favorite is going to be Empire Strikes Back. Empire Strikes Back has, again, great fight sequences like Luke versus Vader. Now, I also, as a kid, I loved action sequences. Like, I really just watched them for the action sequences. So that's why Revenge of the Sith is the top. Revenge of the Sith has Battle over Coruscant, Battle of Kashyyyk, just amazing fight sequences. Battle of Hoth in Empire Strikes Back is one of the top fights just in general. I mean, I love the aspect of the Imperials barreling down on the Rebels and the Rebels trying to hold them off while others escape. It is phenomenal. Also, we get introduced to my other favorite character, which is Boba Fett. Boba Fett is my other favorite character in Star Wars. And I used the scene where he's tracking the Millennium Falcon, it like cuts to him in the Slave One, and he's like sitting there, and he puts his little token computer up. I used to like sit in a chair with my Boba Fett helmet I had in 3rd grade and just reenact that scene for no reason at all. That's just what I did. So Empire Strikes Back comes in at number 2. Number 3, and this one's gratuitous because everyone's gonna freak out. Attack the Clones is number 3. Why is it number 3? Well, because despite its bad dialogue, I know it's a big critique with George Lucas and whatnot in the prequel trilogy, but we're not focusing on the dialogue here. Because I, myself, can get past the dialogue. I don't really care. It's got amazing fight sequences. Battle of Geonosis, the arena battle, Jango Fett versus Obi-Wan, just the Anakin and Obi-Wan versus Dooku, blah, 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 blah. It's got there are many more fantastic parts of that movie if you don't focus on the dialogue. Everybody just focuses on the dialogue because obviously it's like the big critique. And I still will not forgive what people did to Hayden Christensen, when I was a kid. they bullied him, and it's not acceptable to do that. You cannot like a character, but don't hate the actor, you fuckers. Actually, that brings me back to another point. I talked about the sequels early, just like a few minutes ago. Kelly Marie Tran, she played Rose in the sequel trilogy, and you guys bullied her off social media. Like, I didn't like the character. I'll be honest. I think the character was poorly written and whatnot. I think it was just, not the best. But that doesn't mean it was the actor's fault. Everybody's issue was like, it's the actor's fault. No, it's not the actor's fault at all. It's not. I don't even know if she's back on social media. I know she left social media. I don't even know if she's back on. She might be. But I think she's a good actress. It was just not a good character. It was just not written in a good way. That's not the actress's fault. So, yeah, you guys, stop bullying people. Stop bullying the actors and the actresses. Stop doing that. It's not okay. It's not okay. And to be fair, like I said earlier, there are people who like the sequel trilogy and who like her character. And fuck yeah, dude, if you like that character, you like the sequel trilogy, all the power to you. Let's fucking go. It's my biggest issue when Star Wars will make something and like people anticipate it and everyone freaks the fuck out because it didn't meet their expectations. Like people say Kenobi was mid, and again, you're allowed to have an opinion. If you think it's mid, you think it's mid. It's okay. But do not attack other people because they enjoyed it. For me, I enjoyed Book of Boba Fett because for me, it was cool to see Boba Fett try to turn over that new leaf and not be a bounty hunter. Because newsflash, in Legends, in the comics, he does give up bounty hunting. He actually becomes the ruler of Mandalore and fucking has a family and whatnot. He didn't really have a family in the show, but he was turning over a new leaf and becoming more of a protector of the people of Mos Eisley, which is really fucking cool. It's a cool concept. Yes, there were things that could have been done better. There were things that could have been done better in all the shows and all the movies. You're still allowed to enjoy them. Just fucking enjoy them. I don't know why. It's such a big issue. People get so pressed because they're like, well, like in the Kenobi show, everyone's like, well, Obi-Wan didn't say hello there in like episode 3 of Kenobi, so for me it's a mid-show. It's like, dude, fuck off. I understand it's an iconic line, but I mean, seriously, it's like, and again, it didn't even really become an iconic line until Mima started making it like iconic. That's essentially how it became iconic. Was Mima was like 5 years ago. Well, like hello there, and everyone was like, all right. It's actually one of my favorite things though, because I have literally put hello there, just in like on social media for no reason, and people will respond with General Kenobi, and it makes me happy. I love it. I love to see it. So, I mean. Just if you like Star Wars movies, if you would like whatever Star Wars media puts out, fucking like it, dude. I don't like. I try to talk when I talk to people about Star Wars. If they talk about stuff I'm not really a fan of, like for me, I didn't really like Solo that much, but people like it. I'm gonna talk to them about it because it's Star Wars. Let's talk Star Wars. I love talking Star Wars. So, I think if you enjoy it, fuck yeah, dude, you enjoy it. That's perfectly fine. But we're gonna go on to my number 4, or the movie on the number 4 spot, which would be Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi is my number 4 movie because it's a good movie. I love the Sarlacc pit battle. Boba Fett unfortunately meets, not his really demise, but he just kind of meets an unfortunate bump in the road of his life. Because obviously Book of Boba Fett shows he survived, and all that, so. But then we have the Battle of Endor. I know people want fans of Ewoks, but again, I don't mind them. I think the Battle of Endor, both the space battle and the fucking battle on the planet, are amazing. I can watch those for forever. I really could. When I was a kid, I used to always just turn on Return of the Jedi and just watch the Battle of Endor, because for me it was so cool. But that's what I have to say about that movie. The movie is, I think, really well done in a lot of aspects. I'm not a movie critic, guys, so I can't really come out and make this video and be like, oh, this movie sucked because of this and this and this and this. I'm just going off my opinion about what I like about the movies. So, I mean, I'm not gonna, I can't really critique. I'm not a movie critic, guys, so I'm not gonna sit here and like try to convince you to like a movie or even hate a movie or whatnot, because that's not what I'm making this video for. I'm making this video for just to talk about my rankings of the Star Wars movies. As a Star Wars nerd, I figured it'd be kind of fun. So, Return of the Jedi takes the number 4 spot. In the number 5 spot takes Phantom Menace. I'm giving people a second to digest that, because a lot of people who will put Phantom Menace at like the bottom of their list. Yes, I know Jar Jar was iffy. I didn't care for Jar Jar. Like, not in a bad way. Like, again, For me, I just go along with it. Why the hell not? What is the? That's the thing I never understood. Maybe my brain's just too small to understand. But people, people are like, JoJo fucking sucked. He made the movie awful. I really don't. I never really got to me why people hated JoJo so much. I mean, I don't. I really don't. I watched the movie. I'm like, I like the movie. It's got one of the best lightsaber duels. Qui-Gon Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul. Qui-Gon is a top-tier Jedi. It's a shame we didn't get to see him in other movies, because I think he is absolutely phenomenal. So, I think Phantom Menace is up there. It's on my number 5 spot, because it's got good battle sequences, Battle Naboo. I think it's really well made. There were just obviously some things, like, yeah, I know Kid Anakin, like Jake Lloyd who played young Anakin. I know he got hate too. Ahmed Best, who played Jar Jar, got a lot of hate. And again, guys, stop hating the actors. Seriously. I mean, God, it's like, it's, you cannot like the character. You can't just, like, go up to the actor and then be like, hey, fuck you for playing a character that I didn't like. Fuck, you can't, just don't do that. You yourself just come off as an asshole. Phantom Menace, good battle sequences. I think the movie's really well done, in my opinion. I gotta keep stretching that these are my opinions. You know, I'm not forcing you to accept this. I'm not forcing you to accept this list or anything like that. You can hate this list. You can disagree with me. You can just full on hate the video. I'm just making it because it's fun. It's fun. It's fun. Okay. So then that leaves A New Hope in the number 6 spot, and I know people like A New Hope. I think it's a good movie, but again, obviously it's the start of it all, but A New Hope just doesn't hit me as one of the tops, as, Revenge of the Sith, Attack the Clones, and Empire Strikes Back all hit. It's there. I like it. It's more so kind of a slow-paced movie, which for me, I like it more if it's a more fast-paced, and, it's just, it's there. I'll still watch it and enjoy it. I will watch the 6 movies and I will enjoy them. It's just the ones I like more above the others. A New Hope just kind of slow. Got a cool battle sequence at the end. It's just meh. I mean, I can definitely tell you right now, if I was a kid in 1977, I for sure would have seen that movie a dozen times. So that's my list of Star Wars movies. I only did the first 6 again because I said I'm not really a fan of the sequels. I don't really want to add them. But obviously, if I were to add them, I'll just tell you, it would go probably in the number 7 spot being Rise of Skywalker, 8th spot being Force Awakens, and the number 9 spot being The Last Jedi. Last Jedi, I think, was just terrible in my opinion. I think it's just awful. But again, I'm just counting the first 6 movies because for me, Star Wars ends at Return of the Jedi because I think the sequel trilogy just undoes the story of the first 6 movies. But I can sit through and tolerate and somewhat enjoy episodes 7 and 9. 8, I just can't. I can't. I mean, I've only seen the movie once, and that's when I saw it in theaters 5 years ago. And it was just not a good experience for me in theaters. So, but that's it. One thing I do want to talk about is I already talked about it, but mention, and that's hating people who like other movies or don't like the other movies. In 2014, this was before any of the sequel trilogies came out. I was 15 years old, and there was a post on Facebook, and it said, like for the original trilogy, comment for the prequel trilogy. And I remember I commented, I think the prequel trilogy is better. That's all I commented. So I got a Facebook message from some guy, and this guy was like 40-some years old. How I know he was 40 years old is because he laid on me that he's been a Star Wars fan since he was a kid in 1977. So, yeah, he's pretty old when he messaged me, but he was on all caps, messaging me. I'm messaging a 15-year-old on Facebook. What I think the most memorable most memorable portion of that message was this. This is the quote. I've been a Star Wars fan since you were a sperm in your dad's balls. So basically, I didn't have a right to say which trilogy was better because I wasn't a kid for the original trilogy. So that's. And he yelled at me for he caps locked me, which is essentially yelling in internet terms. But he let me have it. It was just, oh my god. So that's why I always try to say, if you like the movies, you like the movies. If you don't like them, you don't like them. Because I don't want to be somebody who's gonna hate on you. If you like the sequels, I love that. All the power to you. If you don't like the prequel trilogy, you don't like the original trilogy, if you don't like, whatever you fancy. If I mean, even the other movies like Solo, Rogue One, the Clone Wars movie, TV shows, Rebels, Resistance, Clone Wars. I'm a kid who grew up with the Clone Wars, so I will say for TV shows, that is my top. I will always watch that. I will always love that. But again, you like what you like. Fuck yeah, dude. I mean, let me know what your favorite Star Wars movies are, Star Wars media is. Because there are people who became fans of Star Wars by watching The Mandalorian. Because they like Baby Yoda. And yes, I'm going to say Baby Yoda. I know it's Grogu, but I'm going to say Baby Yoda because, for simplicity's sake. Why not? If you don't like it, I really don't know what to tell you. People became fans of Star Wars from The Mandalorian. And a long time Star Wars fans were like being mad at them. And being like, you can't be a Star Wars fan because you've only watched The Mandalorian. It's like, dude, I hate those people. They upset me because it's like, just let them enjoy it. Enjoy what you like, dude. Enjoy the Star Wars movies. Just enjoy them. But yeah, just wanted to do a fun video about talking about my list of Star Wars movies from most favorite to least favorite and whatnot. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Comment again. Tell me down below what your favorite movies are. And again, don't be hateful in the comments. Just, yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed. Have a good day. And as always, stay awesome, everybody.